guys want to get some coffee or something?
Can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Even little kids in Mexico drink coffee.
Well, I'm not a little kid in Mexico, okay?
That is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You want a cup of coffee?
No coffee.
Coffee drinker, huh?
Maybe we can grab some coffee?
Coffee! Coffee, 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 coffee!
God damn, Jimmy. This is some serious gourmet shit. Me and Vincent would have been satisfied with some freeze-dried Taster's Choice, right? And he springs this serious gourmet shit on us.
Delicious fuel up. Wake. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I need some orange cream sherbet flavored energy drink in my tummy, and I got it. It's Friday.
Lucky you.
It's me and a couple of Muppets. So, yay. Good morning, everybody. It's awesome. We have finished another week. These weeks go by way too quickly.
That's true.
It just seems like it was just Monday, and I was bitching about it being Monday, and here's Friday. Now I'm bitching about it being Friday.
You bitch every day about being a day.
So let's see who's all here today. We've got Penny is here, Monkey Jubis, Cavatino, Cavalryman Che are already here. Good morning, guys. Alex Moore is here, I see. And Che says it's Friday, MFers. On your feet, take a deep breath and sound off. And then he says, I don't know that name, Martin. What is that company? Is that a company that he says there?
Apparently. Volcanica Cafe Company.
I've never heard of it.
And Men's Warehouse advertisement.
Well, I know Men's Warehouse. I was around the country. So good morning to all of you guys. Zachariah315 is here. Good morning. Everybody over in KGRA radio streaming land, good morning over on Rumble. Greetings. Hope everybody's having a great day. Please feel free to involve yourself in our chat. We interact with you guys all morning. This is one of those long days where I do this show, and then we take an hour break, and then we come back and we do an afternoon show. And this afternoon's going to be fun. We've got Karen Buggs going to be here from Geekosity Magazine for the first hour. And then we're going to have Paul Tweddle, a good old friend of mine from Heavy Spoilers. And he's going to be here to talk about the latest news and information going on in entertainment. And if you've never watched a Heavy Spoilers video, go check him out. This guy is great. He's put me in the hospital twice. I got so engaged with his shows that I feared that I had overdosed on insulin because I was paying attention to him and not what I was doing with my syringes. But
thank God you have the pen now.
Yeah. But he still does amazing shows. In fact, I'm going to be bugging him today because he did a really wonderful breakdown of the final season of Luther. And now we've got the first movie. And I'm really wanting to engage with him on that and find out what he thought of Idris Elba's film, transition from the TV series to now movies for the Luther character. Flip City Magazine is here. Good morning. Man, I've not seen you in a while. Man, it's good to see you. And of course, our good friend Dustin, Keto Simple. And Dragon Ruse is here too. Everybody's slowly dropping in. Oh, Abdulio is here. Good morning. Watched up to episode 4 of 1923, watching them as they released in Spanish. Fantastic show so far. It really is. And I think that Anima and I are simpatico on the fact that as much as good as Yellowstone is, and as much as I love that show, I think this show's a little better.
Yeah, it's the best of the three, for sure.
Yeah, it's high drama in a way that, it's good to see people writing drama that way again. Romantic without being insipidly so. But good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope you had a great week. Oh, it's so nice. The weekend's here. Chill out. I really feel like I made some headway on my day off yesterday, getting some artwork. I say day off. I'm still working. I worked a 17-hour day yesterday. And I know a lot of people are like, why don't you do more shows? Because I'm working 2 full-time jobs. And they really are 2 full-time jobs. Running a show, a lot of people don't know what goes into making these episodes and stuff. And they're exhausting. Setting things up, doing everything, doing the writing. And next thing you know, like half the day is gone. I'm like, oh man, how did I get any artwork done? And it leaves me in panic mode a lot, even though I know it's hard to imagine me in a panic mode. I'm a sucker for Westerns, so not sure I can say it's better because it may be biased. For me, I think it's pretty fair analysis. I tend to really weigh things. I'm always in a state of weighing things. And I really do see something because I really feel that Yellowstone's really building to a conclusion. I'm hoping the show goes on, but I don't know. I don't want to get too far into the weeds with that show. The writing is just fantastic. It's once again high drama, but it's modern. I think that's where I see the difference, the weight difference, and there's more gravitas to a show taking place in that transitional period when the Old West was dying, and they really show it. This last episode, he's wanting to hitch his. Well, where's the horse hitch? Harrison Ford's.
I love that scene.
Outside the courthouse, and they're like, "Oh, we had to remove that for cars
parking space,"
and they ended up having to hitch to trees. And I was just like laughing at that, going, "That's great," because I've heard stories from old cowboys telling me that shit. What that was like, including my own grandfather. My grandfather's first job as a young adult before he went off to war was shoeing horses. He worked in the livery stables, and just what he did. He was good at it. And I don't know. It's a very exciting show, and one of the things I find fascinating about it is that they do a good job of moving between stories. And you were even almost complaining at one point, like, when are we going to get back to that story on the ship?
You were too. It was like up to the last 10 minutes.
It's like, oh my God, yeah. I didn't complain. But I noticed it because you commented on it, and then I went, yeah, it's true. So I'm not complaining. I
love that story.
Identifying what you were saying. It's as good as everything else is in that show. It's the story that I think we're all engaged with, is Spencer's story and his young bride and the guts she has doing what they're doing.
The characters are just so well written. I mean, they are in Yellowstone, but they do an even better job with that in 1923, especially the main 2 female characters.
Well, to get Harrison Ford involved, you know that they had to really put. And I just saw an interview where he said that they really wore him out making the series. And when I read that, I'm like, is this to up your payment to be in the next season? Because Harrison Ford's a major draw for this show. Helen Mirren is amazing in it. Just the great acting. And they bring everything into it. There's, the Catholic Church in the United States, some of its missionary work with orphans. There, especially when it came to the American Indians and how they were treated. Not every story was that way. Not every missionary was that way. But the story that they're using in this one is based off of an actual incident. and they dramatize it, and of course all that shit. But a lot of murder. There's a lot of murder in this show.
Can't wait to get to that episode.
Well, because it takes place in 1923, yeah, he'd probably die, Monkey Jeebus. And by the way, good morning, Jeebus. How you doing today? Watching any of these shows, Yellowstone or the prequels? Oh, man, if you get time, you should do it. I think it's well worth your time. What I like about Taylor Sheridan is he's not afraid to write men as men and women as women. And even the most feminine women in his stories, he writes them in a way that makes them work. He shows those tough women, and he shows feminine women being tough in their own ways. And like the Countess, we find out this episode that she's blue blood. And she's
doesn't
tough
give a
as
shit
shit.
about it.
She's tough as nails, man. They bought Harrison a new bong. Yeah, he is really. His other show that he does is really good, which we have a new episode of called Shrinking, and it's a very good show. That's two shows. His return to television, 2 shows, return to TV after 45 years, and bam, he nails it. Good shows. Shrinking and 1923. Great, yes. Harrison Ford.
If you're having a bad day, go watch some Shrinking. It will.
Yeah, Shrinking cheers you up.
Yeah,
it's one of those shows that makes you feel better by the end. Western culture because of brainwashing. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you, Keto Simple. I haven't watched it yet. Well, I hope you guys. And by the way, good morning, Joe. How you doing, my friend? There's some really good stuff on TV right now. It's amazing, how much good entertainment there is. But to the antithesis of that, we have a lot of shit on TV too. And we're going to talk momentarily about one of them. I want to get it out of the way. So we tried to watch True Lies. We tried. It's like they didn't even they didn't put any effort into this at all. Now I know that it was adapted. The original movie is not an original movie. It is also a remake, the one by James Cameron. It was a remake of a film that I do believe that came out in the late 70s, and French film. And he made some twists and turns in it that I thought were more interesting. And I love the film. I love the film True Lies. It's a fun film. Arnold being typical Arnold and getting to do some good action scenes, but he's funny. I actually think Schwarzenegger's good at comedy, especially action comedy. There's a lot of silly shit in there.
But he's fun.
There's a lot of silly shit in there that just goes beyond reality. How guns don't work that way, kind of stuff. But I still thoroughly enjoyed it. Tom Arnold's hilarious in the movie. And in this show, none of the characters are dear. Within the first, I think, 30 seconds, someone throws out toxic masculinity right there. I don't care. I really don't care. It's your show. Do what you want. But if you want me to watch shows like this, don't throw in trigger words like that. They don't trigger me. They annoy me. I just find it bad, right? It's weak. It's weak storytelling to do stuff like that, to go for the cheap shots. It's a cheap line. And then later, they completely destroy the wife character, making her uninteresting. They think they're making her more interesting, but she's really a boring character. The Jamie Lee Curtis version is so much more interesting because she's not trying to have an affair. That's not her intent. She wants to help this guy who utilizes the fact that he reads on her that she's needing something. She's got something missing in her life.
She's bored.
Yeah. She's bored. But in this one, they make her an adrenaline junkie.
And it's so stupid when she drops off her kids at school and then It's the
it's just
speed. Nothing makes sense in this show. The sad
it's like,
thing is that
I made the joke. I said, "Why don't you just show her putting cigarettes out on her arm?"
yeah,
You know,
these people they
It's
took the
just
story from the
ridiculous.
movie and tried to make it modern and better, and I really think they believe they did, but they just didn't.
We
They
need to make it
destroyed
for current audiences. Well, first of all, you're not paying attention to who's actually watching shows if you believe that.
Yeah, this show is gonna tank.
It's not going to do well.
No.
I think Taken, the TV series, did better than what this one will do. It's just, and what's sad is that, let me check out his name because I really do like this actor. Let's see, True Lies TV series, because Steve Howie is really an enjoyable actor. I really do like him. He was on the show Shameless. He was on Sons of Anarchy. I just think that he's a really good actor. And he's also in a little movie that came out last year, a vampire movie called Day Shift. Him and a dude that plays his brother in that, which is a martial artist guy, is the best part of that whole movie. And it's a great film, a very enjoyable film, Day Shift. Fun, a lot of action fun. It put the fun back into vampire action comedy.
I watched it after you talked about it on the show.
And Snoop Dogg was great, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
When they spitting the gum at each other.
That was so gross.
Give me some of that again.
So
It's just so funny. It's just like, and then we get the payoff of that later with throwing the magazine, and he puts the grip up there. It's like nobody could do that, but it's still freaking cool.
It was
to watch.
so cool.
Catches the magazine in his gun and shoots the vampire. I'm like, that's Steve Howie. He's a really good actor, and he was great in Shameless. But he's wasted on this show. This show doesn't deserve him. I got to be honest. The young lady playing his wife, Ginger Gonzaga, I was so disappointed with the character that I couldn't enjoy her acting. I don't have any comment about it because I just think she's badly written.
Yeah, but the acting also sucks.
No, hey, John, don't even, dude. You know I'm entertained by 10-year-old humor.
Squirrel.
That's
my
because
favorite thing.
Inside, you're still 10. You just grew inside.
I could get Zoe and her friends laughing when she was about 10 years old, and they were, all of them 9, 10 years old, but just using the word poop. Say, hey, anybody need to poop? They just start laughing because that's 10-year-old, and I think that's funny. So, suck it, John.
Hi, Sucks.
Hey, Kyle's here. What's up, my friend? Good morning. So I'm just putting it out there. Anima and I gave it a try. We had to fast forward through so much bad dialogue on that episode. I think we only officially watched 10 minutes of the show, fast forwarding.
Yeah.
And
just to find out what happens in the end, and I'm really like, not going to continue this.
The conclusion's not good. Just everything is done in one episode. One 30-some minute episode.
Yeah.
You get the entire movie plot in that one thing where he is exposed to be an agent and she's joining on, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm out. Not good. The
fight scenes were so bad because we actually wanted to let it go and watch the action. Jesus fucking Christ. Worst fight scene ever.
Now, Flip City Magazine, if you guys don't know what this is a, it's almost like a Mad magazine. Really cool stuff, cool people over there. And Poop and Fart, easily, highly recommended laughs. Hell yeah. You guys know comedy too. The kind of shit that makes us all laugh. And so Flip City Magazine, go check them out. Really good stuff. It's a good site. And I don't think I can't give you a wrench right now because I'm in the middle of doing the show, but I'd really love to be able to share your website link. But good stuff. By the way, Zach's video last night, that's really good stuff, man. Because once I went back and looked myself, Cameron's right. Cameron Pasha is right. Kylo Ren is not in the opening face animation anymore. At least he's
noticed.
Not in there. And I don't know if it's in anything else. I'm going to go back and watch everything from, the Bad Batch. I'm going to see if he's in the Bad Batch animation, because I don't know if it's at the beginning of that or not. But when I went back to watch the new Mandalorian episode, Kylo Ren is not there. He's been removed.
Martina, I don't think many people noticed, because I watched that video too, and when Cameron said that, everybody was blown away. The panel, the chat, everybody was like, what? So.
Well, the thing is, I always skip that intro because I don't like it. But today I will check on it when I'm watching Bad Batch.
Yeah. I do want to say real quick hi to Lord Thoth, because I did say hi to him previously. Good morning. And I love it that doctors only try to call me when I'm in the middle of a show.
Always, really.
They always call when I'm doing a show, and I can't take their call. And I'm sure they think I'm an asshole because I'm not answering. I'm like, no, I'm doing a show.
Because you
I told
canceled yesterday.
I told them I'm unavailable on certain days. The only 2 days I'm available are Tuesday and Thursday. And what do? They always call me on the other days, not the ones when I say I'm available.
Thanks for posting the link, Jeebus.
Thanks, Jeebus. Thank you, sir. FlipCityMag.com. Yeah, and I want to get you guys on the show, because I love the magazine. I really do. It's like Cracked or Mad. It's that kind of humor. It's zany, rude, inappropriate. Best humor in the world should be, yes. Best humor in the world should be inappropriate. It should be edgy, and it should make you feel a little uncomfortable. Let's see. I checked and rechecked, and BB-8 is gone too. Look, here's what I think's going on, Zax. And you tell Cameron I said this. Fuck it. I'll excuse me. There's my one F word. I won't say it again. I will be speaking to Cameron this weekend, and I'm going to tell him what I suspect is going on is that Jon Favreau is biding his time. That's why he didn't quit. Biding his time because he knows that no matter what, she's gone. And he is going to set everything right for at least his universe, Mandalorian. I don't know how far he'll go, but removing, that's huge. But then you see Filoni said something stupid again about Luke Skywalker not being a Jedi. He's never a Jedi. It's like, that's bullshit, Filoni. You know that. That's why the movie was called Return of the Jedi.
No. The Jedi returning is Anakin. When Vader sees when he chooses not to be Vader anymore and be Anakin again.
Well, that's called a double entendre, where you get to use something with a double meaning. It's ridiculous to assume that that's the only meaning of that.
Well,
Luke is the return of the Jedi, as well as the father returning to
because
die as a Jedi.
Luke becomes a Jedi the moment he defeats Vader. He doesn't return.
You sound like you're arguing with me, and you're just repeating things I'm saying.
No.
Yes, you just said Luke became a Jedi the minute he defeated
becomes, not returns.
No, see, you're looking at it as, oh my goodness, this is the English thing. Okay, the Jedi doesn't mean him personally. It's the return of the Jedi.
The group. You're talking about the...
By his becoming a Jedi, that is the return of the Jedi. Do you understand? Okay.
All right. But I may be wrong, but I think I remember George specifically saying that it was Anakin's return. What was he was referencing in the title? I may be wrong. I may be.
Now, look, I'm not saying it's not, but Luke is a Jedi.
Yeah, he is. In the moment he defeats Vader via violence or
but
by
he
emotions,
dies. That's the thing, though. He dies. To return to his being a Jedi, he dies.
No. What I'm... Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're making an argument that we just need to move on. Because it's a pointless argument.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Okay. And Lord Thoth gets it too. Boom. Luke becoming a Jedi means that the Jedi's return. Him becoming a Jedi is him returning to being a Jedi, but then he dies. Luke being a Jedi, the lone Jedi at this point, to his knowledge. I still suspect there are Jedi out there hiding. He also walked back that Grogu spent 2 years with Luke training, that it was apparently a misunderstanding. Well, apparently some time went by because that city that what was a little hub is now actually a city. It was a hub, now it's a city. And it's nice to see some growth. Tom said it. He made a comment on one of my posts that nothing really happens in this episode. I said, no, it's a transitional episode. It's the setting up of other things. It's setting up the season. So not a lot of stuff's going to happen. You get great action at the beginning with that turtle crocodile thingy, which I like the artwork better than the actual finished creature. I think the alligator snapper in the artwork looked more horrifying.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't like the fight sequence though. I mean, they all had jetpacks, and apparently for the first part of the fight, they forgot about that.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden they go, and they even give a command to go to the air. It's like, really, you needed a command to go to the air? I was like, kind of like, I sometimes lay that out as like Dave Filoni, I think does. He fourth grades everything. Well, and if you didn't know this, almost all TV and most films from the 40s all the way through to the 90s were written at a fourth grade level. And we've seen a change in that, a shift in the paradigm with modern TV, that things are being written at a smarter level. We still get a lot of that. Like True Lies is absolutely written at a fourth grade level, and not even a good fourth grade level. Whereas, I'm
sorry,
that the stuff that Taylor Sheridan writes, from The Mayor of Kingstown, Yellowstone, 1923, and its previous series, 1883, all written at a more mature level for adults to enjoy. And the fact is, I grew up on films like that, and I was telling Anima, I was different as a kid, and I'm not the only one. Keith was like this. I have a few friends like this. We didn't watch a lot of kid shows. I mean, we did watch them. We watched movies. I loved watching movies that were made for grown-ups as a kid, and I got into
I read
them.
books made for grown-ups.
Some of them scared the crap out of me because my young mind didn't understand them. Like the movie, D'Argento's movie, not D'Argento. Gosh, I just forgot his name. Cat o' Nine Tails. The cat with the crystal plumage, or the bird with the crystal plumage.
Yes, that was Argento's.
Is it Argento? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
Dario Argento. He wrote, including his horror film with the dance school that they did a stupid remake of. Amazon did. I really love his movies. And I was watching that as a kid. When I was 10 years old, I saw 9 or 10 Serpico. I fully understood what was going on. It terrified me when he got shot in the face. That was so realistic to me as a kid. Because where is Force Ghost, Obi-Wan, and Anakin to advise baby? Actually, you know what, Che? That's a really good question. And maybe we're going to get something like that. Because, I don't know. I'm not saying that Grogu is disconnected from the Force, because clearly he's not. But the trauma of what he went through may be why he's not seeing ghosts. I don't know what the big plan is. I do know that all the things that Favreau wants to do, he's probably not been allowed to do. So there's part of your answer, I think. It's part of the answer, not your answer, but the answer.
Well,
I don't know.
I think it maybe have to be with the volition of the ghost, or the affinity they have with the person who. Maybe they choose who can see them, because in the Return of the Jedi, at the end, you have the 3 ghosts, and only Luke sees them. Leia can't.
Uh, right. Well, we don't know if Leah doesn't see him because she's apparently force sensitive.
Well, no,
So,
yes, she is. Now, maybe she's so gonna say, "Oh, that Ewok hair was too
well, she's
strong."
royalty, so she's like, I better act like I don't see him.
Then-
They'll think I'm crazy, like King George. Um, they have to know you to see the. Yeah, exactly. That could be part of it, or it could be the trauma. There are a lot of reasons why, Che, that this might not be happening for Grogu. I don't know. I don't know what his relationship or dynamic was. We only saw that one scene that he has a memory of. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question though, no matter what. And I got to tell you, Mandalorian once again is a return. I love Paul Shadow. I really do. I don't agree with him at all. It's like we were talking about two different shows, and I don't think Tom liked it either. I'm not sure. I haven't seen his review of it yet. I'm going to go look to see if he did a review of it, so we can talk about it. Because I just saw it as fun Star Wars again. I love the Bad Batch. I think the Bad Batch, their last episode, outdid what they did in the first episode of Mandalorian with their monster, fighting a monster. I just thought it was better. But this first episode, and I'm not going to say it was meh with the Mandalorian. I will say that it's there. It's sort of like getting a coffee, and it's like, you know what? That's good coffee. It's not great.
yeah,
It's
it
not
had
great.
it had this very
I love the
few
opening
low
scene.
point.
I love seeing, because I thought first it was a flashback
Yeah,
of Din Djarin. I thought he
They
was
want
having
you
a
to
fun,
think that.
and I'm like, oh my god, there they are. And then you see what's his name, the character that Favreau plays, standing there on the beach, looking all daddy, all proud. He turns to look at his boy
Paz.
that he's.
Fabro is Paz Vizsla. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's his voice.
His voice.
It's
No,
his.
I
I don't know if he physically plays him. I know that
I
he's
don't
been the voice
I don't
since
think he fits in that armor.
since the previous Star Wars animated series. I can't remember if it was Rebels. I think it was in Rebels that he played that Mandalorian character.
Nice, but no,
And
I knew it wasn't Din when I saw the kid's eye color because Pascal's eyes are brown, not blue.
I don't know. Maybe they're too busy worshiping Ray. I don't know. I don't know. But I think it's a good point that Grogu doesn't seem attached to anybody else with the Force. And I think Luke may be the first. And what's her name? With Rosario Dawson's character from the Ahsoka, whatever her name is, Ahsoka. I'm going to watch that show. I'm very curious. But Filoni is he's pissing off fans left and right. Saying he just keeps saying stupid shit. It just irritates people. But I still will watch that show because I think he puts out a good program. I think Bad Batch is a really good show. I love the characters. I love the voices. I like how the kid is kind of a screw up, and she's not Rey. She's not perfect right out of the get-go. She's screwing up, causing problems, and she's slowly learning how to do things and being helpful to the team. And it has a really good, I don't like the modern use of the word family in a lot of things, film, TV, especially TV. You hear the word family, and I'm immediately like, yeah, but what do you really mean by that? Family. And but you get that family dynamic. You get a real family dynamic with these characters in Bad Batch. And Thoth, I feel the same way. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I hear people going, "Oh," and I'm like, "It's Star Wars. It's good Star Wars. It's fun. It's adventurous. It's following the path that George Lucas established without getting stupid and political." They threw some stuff in every once in a while, but I think that that was the previous series. They threw this stuff in there, and I get really tired of the girl power thing. It's like, just show females doing their thing.
Are you
don't make
talking
it.
about Andor?
Well, I didn't even finish Andor. I only got 3 episodes in.
It didn't feel like Star Wars.
It just
and
doesn't
these two
have
shows do.
as good as it was. It was well acted, well written. It just didn't feel like Star Wars to me. And so I'm like, I kind of went, okay, well, see you later. Take care of yourself. I just walked away. Like, and it's one of those moments where it's like, do you want to have lunch next week? Call me. No, I don't want to.
I did a Homer Simpson on Andor. I just backed
away into the
shrubs.
bushes.
Not interested.
Well, I really liked Andor.
And of course, no, and I get it because it allows you that what is that called? Romancing the Stone, because you sound so much like the main character, so you get to pretend you're him.
Dare you?
And suddenly he doesn't talk to me anymore. But no, that guy's a good actor. I really did love the acting in that. I thought it was a very dramatic show, but it's not Star Wars for me. It's too dark, too heavy. I mean, if you can't even have some fun moments in there, like Empire Strike Back was dark, and it's still fun. I just felt the show left the fun at the door. I slowly watching Andor 1 episode a week. I couldn't get back to sleep when I turned over. Are we talking about sleeping problems now, Peter Vickman fan site? Vickman's girl. Let's see. Andor was fine, but not Star Wars. There. You're sympathetic with what we're saying. Some people already have what they want to hear in their head and don't actually listen to what's being said. That's true, too.
Most of the people.
One thing I've learned in my life, and I love it when somebody says, you're not listening to me. And I'm like, I am actually genetically designed to be an active listener. So, no, I am listening to you. It's just I don't agree with what you're saying. And and being an active listener is really important, like especially with movies and TV shows, because that's where you pick up on the nuances of what's going on through the dialogue. And I really enjoyed Andor. It was like some of the EU books. No, and I totally get that, Colin. I'm not going to shit on that show. I will not, because I watched it, and I got to tell you, it's good filmmaking. It is. It's good cinema. It's just not my kind of Star Wars. It's just not.
I understand.
But I see where people like it. I get it.
But to me, the real importance of that show is that we finally are seeing the real evilness in the Empire.
No doubt.
Things
No
they
doubt.
do to the population. We haven't seen it before. We only have heard, oh, they're bad, they're evil, but we haven't seen that.
Here's where I'm going to give you a prime example of where the difference is. Mission Impossible TV series from the 60s. Mission Impossible, the movies. Same name. Kind of in the same universe. Completely different. And that's how I see it. I'm not saying it doesn't have value, because I love the films. They are not the Mission Impossible TV series that I grew up on and love to this day. Still watch religiously. I own them all. But it's just not the same. But I still enjoy them. Andor, I think it's for a selective kind of person. And don't get me wrong, I love drama. I love high drama. I love kabuki. Kabuki's high drama, if you didn't understand that joke. Anyway, it's a different kind of thing. And for me, I want my Star Wars a certain way. And I want it delivered to me in the way that we're used to. That was the way George Lucas fed it to us. The problem is, even with that, we didn't always get the same thing. You look at the Ewok series and 3PO and R2 series. What was that? Droid series. They were completely not good Star Wars. They were fun for kids, but there's your first example of the variance where it goes off. And so Andor goes off into a more theatrical, dramatic way. And I can see the value of that, and I can see where fans like it. And I enjoyed, again, I'm going to point out, good acting, good writing. Good acting, good writing. Something that Kenobi series lacked. Well, it had the good acting, just terrible writing. And I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, Zach. I never know with you. Good comparison, Gary. You could be saying it there where you go, no, that's a good comparison, Gary. I never know. There's no tonality with text. So I always tell people, be careful communicating through text. You never know, because the interpretation is on the receiver's end. You'll tell me where Star Wars Muppets episode isn't the real Star Wars universe. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but I loved the Muppet episode, the Muppet Show, when Luke Skywalker. I loved it when they had anybody from Star Wars on there. And he wasn't Mark Hamill. He was Luke Skywalker in that episode. He had accidentally ended up on Earth. Yeah, I thought that was cool. Oh, thanks, Cal. I wasn't sure. Okay. So Zach says, no, I agree. A lot of people think that I'm just opinionated. They don't think I actually think these things through before I say things. I really do. I spend a lot of time mulling things over in my head. And I mulled over watching that movie or that TV series with Anima. I warned her. I said, I got 10 minutes into it and I didn't like it. But let's go ahead and watch it. We watched the episode together.
I didn't want to, but he made me. He said,
I made her do it.
Do this.
I put a gun to her head. An emotional gun. Yeah, that episode of the Muppets was great. But yeah, exactly. It could have been any sci-fi show with villains and good guys. And it would have been good. I think the way it was written. It didn't necessarily have to be Star Wars. But it is.
No.
It threw the
Maybe
name on
Star
there.
Wars made you expect Star Wars, and that way disappointed.
I don't know. Did they get a second season or did they get canceled?
I hope so. I hope they had a second season. There's no news.
Nobody watched Velma, and it got another season. And I think people were watching Andor.
Dude, I'm gonna derail with the great news that at last, this is the last season of STD.
Yes, I saw that this morning. That it's official, and that's good. And I like that.
What you're talking
and
about.
I've been watching Picard, and I got to say, it's not great Star Trek, but it is good Next Generation. I got problems with some of the things they do in the show with the way they. Well, Anima knows. I said on the bridge that kind of bantering back and forth is nice, but when you're in earshot of other crew, they wouldn't banter like that.
Yeah.
Nobody in command would. And I dislike when they're on the bridge and Picard keeps calling Captain Riker Will.
Number one.
No, he calls him Will.
Yeah.
And that's a no-no from the military. It's beating you. I was best friends with my sergeants in the Army, Eugene Tevez and Tom Parker. I love those guys to this day. And we still stay in contact with each other. And I got to tell you, first name when we're playing cards, drinking beer, hanging out. When we're on duty, it was Sergeant Parker and Sergeant Tevez. Period. And a lot of times they didn't even mention my rank. They would just yell, Kissel!
What really threw me off in Picard is when they shit on Geordie's daughter in front of the whole crew.
Oh, there's some uncalled for stuff. And I'm sure that the writers didn't think that they were shitting on her, but
they were.
They made her look bad in front of everybody, and you just don't do that. That's something you do in private, joke around. What does it say? I'm pretty sure Andor was one of the shows that had been finished a long time ago, but kept getting pushed. Yeah, because I think a lot of it had been worked out and done, and then got pushed back. Exactly. Yeah, the needle.
We have news here.
Oh, see, now that's good, Kyle. That's good. I think that it's well done. I think it's good television. I really do. I don't think it's good Star Wars for me, but I know good TV, high entertainment when I see it. And I'm glad they got a renewal. I'm glad that happened.
I heard that the guy that was the showrunner for Picard season 3 got axed.
He got axed. Yeah, that's what's going around in the trades right now.
we have
And
7
Kurtzman is back in, is what they're saying. And
for 7
we predicted
years.
this. We predicted this, that you know, Kurtzman was forced to eat shit with season 3 of Picard. He was forced to do this, but I said, here's the problem, and every one of us, even Doomcock said it, that if you go and watch this through legal means, through Paramount or the CBS apps, you know, you are giving points to Kurtzman by watching the show through legitimate means. And that's why I refuse to. I won't do it, because Kurtzman's going to keep his damn job. And that's what we're hearing. The rumors that he's in, and that dude got axed, and he actually put some effort into this season, despite some of the little things I don't like. And a lot of it has to do with how they conduct themselves. I think that if you're going to write something about the military, you better, you know, and whether people like it or not, Starfleet is a form of military, and it's the Navy in space. And it's one thing that I just forgot his name, that directed Wrath of Khan. Nicholas Meyer did. Nicholas Meyer researched the Navy before working on Star Trek. He researched Star Trek too. He did his research, his due diligence, but he researched the Navy, and he fought with Gene Roddenberry over certain things, and he won. And Gene admitted later that he was right to put those in there, that made it more Navy. And it's, you know, and those who serve in the military, especially the Navy, appreciate that. Starfleet, fleet is fleet itself is a naval term. So, given that there was such a long separation of time between Andor season 1 and season 2, I wonder if it'll even be the same show in season 2.
Who knows?
Who knows? You know, until you see it, you don't know. I mean, people are complaining about season 2 of Mandalorian compared to season 1, and now we got this new season. There, some people are already complaining. I'm like looking at it, it's like more organically. I look at things more organically, and I see where they're going with this. I like that Cara Dune is mentioned, and not only that. Here's what I think's happening. What you're going to see happen is Favreau's in for the long game. He's playing for the long game. And he's biding his time until the diva is gone. And once the diva is gone, he's going to reset all the stuff that they forced on him back to what it was supposed to be, and bring Cara Dune back. And I guarantee you, the friendship between him and Gina is still solid, and she'll come back for him and for the show. That's my prediction. Just based off of
the people
how I read
complaining
people.
about season 3, they just don't like setup episodes. And I get it. It doesn't work for everyone, but it's really the major complaint.
Yeah, and setup, you know, it is a setup episode. It's like a
They have their place too.
You know, transitional setup episodes are important. You get a lot of character development in those. I got into a fight one day about Star Trek classic Kirk, Spock, McCoy in the original series, which is just Star Trek. When I say just Star Trek, that's what I mean. So classic Star Trek, and in it, you know, they're complaining about the whole multi-episode seasons. They say, well, you look at Star Trek, you talk about Star Trek. Look how weak some of those episodes are. I said, oh, you think you've made a good point in favor of your argument of lesser episodes, but here's what you're forgetting. Character development from those bad episodes. The love for Kirk, Spock, and McCoy came about because of some of those episodes that weren't as good as the others, because the characters were good. The episode might not be great, but the characters were good, and they were building that dynamic. And without those additional episodes, you wouldn't have gotten it. And I refer to those as transitional episodes of Star Trek, where it's just building character and universe, world building. So Kurtzman made STD more like the Navy by making everyone. No, I'm not saying it should not speak. You turd.
Also, good day to you, Shanotsky.
How you doing, buddy? What's this one? And the Hornfisher books? What is that? What are we talking about? I don't know what that's about. Anybody know what he's talking about, Martin? Anybody?
Nope.
I don't know what that is. I guess I'll look it up.
Maybe they're having a dialogue in the chat. Just
Yeah, he's
talking about other stuff.
chatting with someone, but I don't know with whom and about what.
Oh, they're naval books. Okay. I'm assuming works of fiction. The Last Stand, Neptune's Inferno, The Fleet at Flood Tide, Who Can Hold the Sea, Ship of Ghost. These are all books by James D. Hornfisher. Yeah, I love that stuff. And if you're going to write stuff that deals with that, you need to know it. And Kurtzman doesn't do his due diligence. He doesn't research anything. The guy's a flaming idiot. Absolute. You know, his best ideas are when he takes a crap.
Jeez, scary.
No, I agree with you, Lord Thoth. Absolutely. I loved all of the episodes. There are weak episodes. Turnabout Intruder being one of the prime ones. Spock's Brain, not good. You get a lot of that. And definitely Horatio Hornblower is one of those classic naval characters that inspired Star Trek. It's inspired a lot of science fiction characters like that. What did I see here? I thought I saw something else. Yes. The best character moments in Star Trek Babylon 5, DS9, etc. are usually bad episodes. They're good character episodes are not necessarily good episodes, but they're fun because of what they did with the characters. Some of my favorite
bad episodes. Some are just weaker. They're not.
They're thinner on the plot and storytelling. And I will tell you, one of my favorite DS9 episodes were the ones that focused on Odo and Quark and their relationship. I love that. My favorite Next Gen episodes focused on Data Geordi. Absolutely. What was the Sherlock Holmes one? Elementary, My Dear Data, or Elementary Dear Data. Great episode. And you get to see that dynamic of their friendship. Gary, have you seen a picture from Picard season 3 of Commodore LaForge with his real life daughter, Micah Burton? I have not. I'm sure it's great. I just don't like the way they treated the LaForge character on the bridge. You just don't do that. Let's see. Think about it, Peter Vickman. Everyone's complaints about Velma is them taking themselves too seriously and being pissy about it. It was okay in Venture Bros, and it's because Venture Bros is not Johnny Quest, is why. It takes a shit on Johnny Quest and other Hanna-Barbera cartoons without it tells you right up front it's parody. It's a parody. And that's the problem, is if it doesn't present itself as parody, there's going to be a problem. And that's why I get mad when people try to go, well, the animated Harley Quinn series, that's canon. No, it's not. It's parody. And it's something that Mikey Sutton and I talk about in our private chats, is how people keep wanting to make parody canon. And they show their stupid card when they do that. Yeah, well, they call him something else, but it is clearly Johnny Quest, and he's in the diving bell. I love that episode. Actually, if you go back to the very first Flash animated Venture Brothers cartoon, the pilot, it is absolutely a nod to the first pilot episode of Johnny Quest. Or no, it's not the first one. It is the second one of Johnny Quest that had Haji in it. Because the pilot episode, for some weird reason, doesn't have Haji in it, Johnny Quest. And I believe I know the reason why, is because they were afraid that a boy of color was going to be problematic in the pilot. And they left him out and then put him back in for the next episode. And I think it would have benefited from having him there. They wanted to simplify the story and not have it too, because the problem with Johnny Quest, going back to it, is the dog. The
We have
dog
2
is the
minutes
problem.
left.
2 minutes. I thought you said 10.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's 55. No, it's 2 minutes. So, Last Jedi was a parody they made canon. Yeah, good example.
And a bad one at that.
Yeah. Brock knows Rafe. Rafe died. Hey, super sticker by our good friend, Darius Munchausen, the safest Munchausen for children, with $4. I'm assuming it's a coffee. And a pear.
With the coffee, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how he says good morning.
Good morning to you, sir, and thank you for that little thing. And here's your video. Bill, take us away. Hi, guys. This is Gerry from Pop Culture Minefield here on KGRA, and we're leaving for our first break. I hope we survive.
A birthday without her mom. An anniversary without her husband. Her wedding day without her dad. These are the days when military families feel it most of all. The loss of their soldier, their sailor, their airman, their Marine, their Coast Guardsman. Families never forget their loved ones lost to war or illness or suicide. Families never forget, and neither do we. We are TAPS, the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. We provide resources, support, and comfort to heal the hearts and meet the needs of grieving military families, all at no cost to them. Your generosity can make an enormous difference in the lives of the families of our fallen military heroes. Our military families need to know they are not alone and they are not forgotten. Show them your support at taps.org.
Question facing humanity is
Hey members, the new KGRA DB app is now available on iOS and Android devices. Gain on-demand access to any KGRA DB programming. Download any show directly to your mobile device to listen or watch on the go. Go to the App Store and search KGRA DB.
Oh, wow, we survived. Welcome back from the commercial break. Now for some more Pop Culture Minefield on KGRA. And of course, we are talking about some really good shows that are on today, which include, we talked a little bit about Mando. We talked a little bit about this really crappy show, Don't Waste Your Time On, called True Lies. And we talked a little bit about 1923, but here's this other show called Hello Tomorrow. And I keep singing praises for Apple Plus because they have got some great shows, and they've got one of the smallest subscriptions for any of the streaming platforms. And they have some of the best shows and sometimes films. Now, agreed, they got some stuff that I didn't like. I didn't like the Tom Hanks sci-fi movie, him and the robot. You know, it's like Survivor, whatever that movie he did where he's on an island. But now it's with him and a robot, and I didn't like it. He's the last human. He's dying, and he wants something to go on to take care of his dog. So he creates a robot, and I was disappointed with that. I was like, nah, it wasn't that good. And but they have some other great stuff on there. Science fiction on Apple Plus is really good. I like For All Mankind. It does woke in a way that I actually can enjoy it because it's true. The way they show it, it's pretty much how it would be depicted. how it would have happened in an alternate universe where the Russians beat us to the moon. What would that world be like? And they're saying that the competition would have kept going and we would have gone to Mars in the 90s. And I'm like, wow, we get combat in space, actual M16, AK-47 combat. It was really interesting what they did. And I like the show. Ronald D. Moore is the creator of the show, and he does a lot of the writing. I think he does a good job. I like his writing. He's not always great. I've caught moments where he really pooped the bed, but I like that show. I really do. I think the first of Battlestar Galactica, his updated version, was good, and it was the last 2 seasons that went to crap, almost like Game of Thrones. And I'm not sure if he had stopped writing so much is part of the reason. I don't think he knew where to go. And I think that they should have gone the same direction that the original TV series was going. That, yes, they were the future of man, but there are so many bad writing moments in how they pulled it off that it just didn't work. It didn't make sense. But For All Mankind, very good show. This other show I want to talk about is new. It's got Billy Crudup in it, called Hello Tomorrow. It's got that Alison Pill. She's a weird looking person. She is weird looking. And it's also got Hank Azaria in it. Pretty much everybody else is unknowns on the show. But those 3 are in the show, and it's really well done. And really at the heart of the show is the story of a guy who's a con man, or could potentially be a con man. We don't really know. It's being played out like it's a con of finding, because people are moving to the moon in the story. It's sci-fi in the 1950s. That what if popular mechanics, what they all predicted, had actually happened in the 50s? We had robots, and we're people moving to the moon and all that shit. And it's fun sci-fi, but it's not really completely based in sci-fi. It's just a drama, and with a little hints of comedy in it. And it's heartwarming. There's a little John Doe aspect to it. Meet John Doe. I think that was the name of the movie with not Cary Grant, but Gary Cooper, where he's just this guy trying to make it through life, and maybe he's a flim-flam man. We don't really know. We suspect. I do. I fully suspect that what is going to end up happening in the show is where you make the lie the truth. And it may transition to that, but I don't know. I'm watching it unfold, and I can't stop watching it because it's such a beautiful story about a guy who wants to redeem himself as a person.
He wants to make people happy.
And he is. He is an agent of happiness. He is one of those people that even when he may be conning somebody, he's conning them into feeling better, even if it's only temporary. And he gets something out of that. He really does. And I like that. And this is because even if you go back and watch The Flim Flam Man with George C. Scott, there are elements of that with his character too. And this has that. I really do love Billy Crudup in this role. And he resembles the young actor playing his biological son in it. And what it is, and there's this great moment in the pilot episode where you meet his ex. You don't know it's his ex. And a robotic vehicle is doing a package drop-off at the house with an animated stork character in the script. It's just, you got to see this to believe it, what's happening. And a dog walks in front of the van, and so the van backs up right when she's picking her package up. And it hits her and slams her into the garage door and puts her into a coma. Damn near kills her. And that's his ex. And of course, her son is bereft over this and not sure what he's going to do. And Billy Crudup's character is a salesman for these moderately priced, mid-range, basically people who are middle class. You too can live on the moon. And we're building housing developments under a dome where you can afford this. But is it real? We know that the rich are going to the moon. That's established within the story. But you don't know if he's bullshitting and the company works for it. And it just comes off every single time he reacts to something. It just feels like he's covering up. So we are being led to believe it's all bullshit. But I don't know where it's going to go. I really don't. I'm not going to predict it.
We also don't know if he's the head of this whole con or
I
just...
suspect he is. I
don't know.
And they're making us believe he is. But is he? You know, it's just he's being very tight-lipped about things and being a lot of disinformation with him. Sci-Fi Channel. Wait a minute. I put that back up. Original BSG or Sci-Fi Channel BSG. Alex Moore. They're having a conversation. Yeah, you guys have your conversation.
It has to do with this, and I have my opinion about this statement.
Well, yeah. There was look. It was darker. So they went into territories in that made you uncomfortable. And I got to tell you, if something makes you uncomfortable, it doesn't mean it's bad. What I don't like is cringe. When things are cringy. And that's why I had trouble with like Ricky Gervais comedies, because it's based on cringe humor. And cringe humor is something I don't like.
It's just not funny.
It can be. Because, you know, another master of that kind of comedy was John Cleese. With Faulty Towers. He did a lot of cringy things, but it worked with him. I have problems with Ricky Gervais's comedy shows when he gets into the cringe area. I enjoyed it with Extras, his TV show Extras, but I didn't enjoy the cringe when he did it with The Office, the original Office. Looking forward to the Tetris movie. I have not even watched the trailer. I'm not sure. Here's the problem. Do I care enough to want to watch it? It looks good. I'm telling you, it looks good, but it just doesn't get my interest. Does not grab my interest at all. And I'm a gamer from the 70s. I was gaming when the first games came out. But Hello Tomorrow is one of the best shows you're not watching. In fact, most of the things that are on Apple Plus TV that are good, most people aren't watching. They don't have the big audience. And it surprises me because these are really good shows. And Hello Tomorrow has heart. It's got heart. It's got love story all over the place. So, and on top of that, it's a redemption story and the story of a father trying to find his way back to his son. But he's so afraid of his son finding out who he is. He's his boss, but he's actually his dad. And the episode where he pretends to be his dad to help him is one of my favorites, where he goes and pretends to be his dad when he meets the girl that he's in love with's father. That's some really good entertainment right there. Good writing.
You also get the feeling by not telling him that he's really his dad, he is setting himself up for trouble, because when the kid finds out, he's going to be pissed.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the problem. He really needs to, and he was told twice to tell him. His mother said it to him. Overbearing mother. He has an overbearing mother too. Gee, she's played well. Oh my God. That lady is so good at playing bitches. She really is. She's an Australian actress, and man, she nails that character of the overbearing helicopter mother, you know. But Backdoor, oh my goodness, oh good Lord, what do? Do I play a video? Should I play a video? I think I'll play a video. I think I owed somebody else a video too, but let's see. Which one do I want to do? Rules of engagement? Yeah, I'll do that one.
Here's your potential LZs. The Marines at the embassy advise we can gain entrance through the back way.
There you go.
And Don is talking to you.
Hi, Don.
Yes. Look, Don, we're going to do an episode on Fantastic Friday that's going to be dedicated to that movie. When it comes out, the whole 2 hours, we're going to do nothing but talk about 65, and I want you to join us on that one. And I am so stoked for this film. Very good stuff. Battlestar Galactica was always allegorical to an extent, even the original. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yes.
The Mormon creator wanted to call it Adam's Ark, but the sci-fi series was just as religious, just less Christian. Absolutely. They focus more on the Egyptian thing. And, it's really interesting that
in the original series, you have even the devil. The devil appears.
Oh, in the original series? Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Played by Patrick McNee. Played the devil. He was in the original TV show The Avengers over in the UK, not the American Avengers. Penny, would one still be considered poor if the ride to the moon cost $100,000, housing, and the top paycheck? Well, I got to tell you that what's interesting about this show is, and this is where I think the con is that we can do that at 1/3 the price kind of thing. And all you got to do is put this amount down and make this many payments and pay $100 something a month, and you'll pay it off. And basically, it's got the housing project kind of feel to how they're doing it. It's like you can move into this place, where you actually like own the property, and but you got to make your payments. And if you get foreclosed on, you get shipped back to Earth. And they also have a subplot that I'm really enjoying, which is going to be the eventual downfall of the main character, Billy Crudup's character. I believe that is Alison Pill plays a psychotic character. She's really crazy.
She always do.
She's so crazy in this. And she's so freaky to look at, but she's really doing a good job in this role of this housewife who doesn't like her. You don't even know why, because it's insinuated by the sales rep that she's possibly being abused by her spouse.
We don't know how he picks that up,
but we
he
don't
hits
know.
the nail on the head.
Yeah, he hits the nail on the head for her. We don't know if it's true, because I consider her an unreliable narrator because she's a bit wackadoodle. Okay.
But the thing is, she wants to get away from her husband.
So
we don't know why.
We don't know why, really why. So she signs on for this deal thinking that she'll immediately go to the moon. But when she gets there, it's like, no, you don't leave for like weeks.
2 months, I think.
And she's like, I burned my house down.
Yeah, she does.
That was all my money, and so she's trying to bring the company down because she feels slighted, cheated, and she's crazy. She really is. She's your typical Karen type character, and I'm going to bring you down. You don't give me what I thought you're selling me, not what you were selling me, what I thought you were selling me. I'm going to bring you down and destroy you.
That phone call she makes is so much fun.
Absolutely, Shinatsky. The last 2 seasons were very disappointing of Battlestar Galactica. I stuck through. Very disappointed with it. Let's see. And I did like that aspect. I did watch part of the trailer and caught that it's the story of how he went to Russia to get that game. And I think that's interesting. Because it was still communist when he did it. He swore to never take another life again and uses. Wait, what are we talking about?
Oh, Rurouni Kenshin, the live action adaptation of the manga and anime. Oh yeah, it's very good. I have only seen the first 3, and it's one of the best.
Is it new?
Oh no, but by all means, no. It has like 7 years old or maybe more. The first movie, but it's very, very good.
I got to tell you, when it comes to Japanese cinema, whether it's based on manga or not, it doesn't matter to me. I just love Japanese cinema. I got to find out what it was. Toshiro Mifune Ronin film. There we go. Because I have a select number of films that are my absolute favorites, and number 1 is the Samurai Trilogy with Toshiro Mifune, which is the story of Miyamoto Musashi. It's once again high drama, great film series, great films, and I do believe it. Yep, this is the one. Chusingura, which is another telling of the 47 Ronin, and it's a very good film. Toshiro's in it. He's in 2 versions of it. He's another one later that's actually really good too. It's done in 1972, and it had oh my gosh, we just lost him. Great martial artist, film sword. He was one of he was the sword maker in Kill Bill.
Sonny Chiba.
Sonny Chiba. Sonny Chiba was in another remake of the 47 Ronin, and again, Toshiro Mifune was in that film too. He makes an appearance in it. And I love pretty much almost every iteration except for the one with Keanu of the 47 Ronin, because I always love.
Yeah,
I walk away with something new and interesting from it.
that
Their
was
version was all magic and it was crap, and that's because it's a true story. What happened, and why would you put magic and dragons and shit in it? It's stupid. But anyway, another one is. Oh, I just forgot. It's another Toshiro Mifune film where his son gets kidnapped, or he thinks it's his son, but it's actually his butler's son is mistaken for his kid. That's another one. High Low was the name of that film. High Low, and then Sword of Doom. That's a wow. If you've never seen Sword of Doom, you're missing great Japanese cinema. One of the best Japanese films ever made. Sword of Doom, or as some people would say, Sword. I love it when people overpronounce the silent W. But Japanese cinema has always been good. And I recommend Tenchu is about Izo, who was a real-life political assassin for his lord. That's interesting. Nowadays, we just have Robert Greene. The Book of Five Rings. Yeah, absolutely. That book changed my life. I was 16 when I read it. I read 3 books when I was 16 that changed everything for me. The Book of Five Rings, The Flower of Chivalry, the life of William Marshall, and Art of War.
There's a question for you.
Yeah, what Princess Mononoke? I don't think I've ever seen any of the Princess Mononoke stuff. I'm not even sure I even know what it is. I know the name. I've heard it. I just don't know what it is.
It's an anime by Studio Ghibli or this guy. Oh my goodness.
Oh wait, no, my daughter watched that. Yeah, I know the film. Yeah. No, that stuff's good. And I do like anime. I just watched, thanks to Shinatsky, he got me a good high quality copy on. They have it on YouTube. Is oh my god, Blood something. It's Vampire Hunter D sequel. It was made around 2000, 2003, and it's available for free on YouTube. Bloodlust, I think that was it. Bloodlust. What a movie! I so thoroughly enjoyed that, and thanks a lot, Chinatsky, for sending that to me. Yeah, The Flower of Chivalry. The original book by Dubé was called Fleur de Chevalier. I can't remember if they reverse his name. No, it was Guillaume de Marchal. The original book was in French. It was translated English, and it is a book that I highly recommend because a bulk of its content was written, and William Marshall was the first historical figure to have his life chronicled while he was alive. First historical figure. Before a king. In fact, one of the things that blew my mind with him is when he died, that more people attended his funeral, William Marshall's funeral, than attended any of the kings of France or England. And in fact, the king of France, when Marshall died, wandered around the court for days, just really in a stupor, and just kept asking people, "Did you hear? Marshall is dead. Marshall is dead." Because he was a very important figure in his own personal life, the King of France. If you want to watch fun but tongue-in-cheek Japanese cinema, Hanzo and Razor movies are entertaining. That sounds interesting. And I do believe, aren't you Filipino, Che? I think you're Filipino, right? I love Filipino sci-fi and action films. I really do. I think that it's finally starting to come up in popularity. And we've seen some really good stuff coming out, especially with the science fiction. I saw a trailer for the one of the anime live action things they're doing, and it was made in the Philippines. It looks really good. So another backdoor, Bloodlust. That was it, Bloodlust. Yeah,
and he's dubbed in your power of gay seduction.
Look, man, if you can get it, use it.
Everlight, protect Grog and the rest of our friends, wherever they are.
I can hardly wait for the next season. We need more shows. They need it like 24 episodes. I get tired of these short seasons. Oh, you bet, man. It is a great book. It is written from the original poem by John d'Early. And John d'Early was the chronicler. And it is believed through forensic detective work that John d'Early was actually William Marshall's squire, going by a pen name. And that's why he knew so much about him, because he had squired under him. And I don't mean that in the backdoor sense. So I recommend the Man-Eaters of Savo. Yeah, the book for which the movie, the Ghosts movie. Did you ever watch Genocidal Organ? I don't even know what that is, Shinatsky.
It's a anime, and it's in my watch list.
Share it with me. Let me get me the info, Martin, after the show.
Okay,
I'll check it out.
Okay, I'll talk to you in the after show.
Okay. Hey, is everybody enjoying Brian's shows on Tuesday?
Oh yeah.
My God, he is fun. I have a clip here of him delivering some dialogue. Guys, just enjoy this. It's really good stuff.
If he was a wee bit closer, I could lob a caber at him, kin. It's just no fair marking his back for the hand of the coin. It doesn't want to nip it yet. Kin?
I love Kevin McKidd, man. He's great. And when they found out that he could do that dialect, they threw it in there because it's so thick, even Scottish people are like, what did you just say? Oh, wait, put that back up. I want to see what Jay said. I love the Hans. Oh, that one. Okay.
Oh, yeah. And this one.
That's the one I'm talking about. Yes. The trailer for that looks amazing. And if you've not seen that, look at what Cavatino said here. Go look up that trailer. It's an amazing trailer. It just looks like fun, done, it's got that 90s feel to it at points, but it's done with modern effects, so it just really...
Now, my question is that Voltron or a Voltron clone, so to speak?
Well, it was an anime show of its own.
Oh.
And Volt 5. And I think it is related to Voltron. I think it is. There's a Malaysia live action of Dragon Ball movie. I haven't seen it yet. I think somebody mentioned that the other day. I don't know who it was. We were talking and somebody brought that up. And I'm always curious to see that. Because look, man, if you've never seen Japanese Spider-Man, you're missing the best in life. Or Italian Spider-Man. Jeez.
No, that one I haven't seen it.
Harry much? God, there's no Harry Osborn. Spider-Man's Harry. It's so gross, the body hair on that guy. Das Wolfen is back. Hey, buddy. Let's see. I still need to buy a barrel of rice so I can do my own sword training. Yeah. Good stuff, man. Anything else we want to talk about here?
What else were we supposed
I'm asking Anima. She's apparently gone silent.
Yeah, because you went off to stuff that I don't know anything about, like Asian.
That's okay. You can still participate and listen. And I'm happy you're here. So, anything else we want to go over about those shows?
Yeah, well, I came prepared to talk about those 2 episodes, but there's no time to do that now.
We'll get 20 minutes to like highlights. Yeah. What are some highlights?
Oh,
of which one?
That you found. What are your personal thoughts on some of the highlights of either 1923, this episode that we're talked about? This is the one where they first get on the ship, right? And he's dealing with... No, what episode is this one?
in the second episode, the highlights are the conflict between the sheep farmers and the cattle farmers is set up because he told what's his name, Banner. He told him, I find your sheep on my ground again. I'm going to hang you. And that's what he's doing. Only Banner manages to calm his horse down so his horse doesn't go off when they ride off, the cattle guys. So he stays alive and he manages to get off. And he is pissed. He's going to war now. And we'll see that in, I think, the next one. And
it's good stuff. I mean, once again, this is high drama. There's a lot of murder on this show. I'm just telling you.
Not yet, but there will be.
Because in episode 3 is the most murders on the show.
Yeah,
takes place in that episode. But there's murders, there's killings. Anytime somebody gets killed, technically it's a murder.
But for now, the cattle guys just they're heading south to find a place for the cattle. Some of them are sent to the Indians with the sheep because they have no use for the sheep, so they force them on the Indians. They have to take them.
Oh my God. I got to tell you, I want to point out again that if you want to get a prime example of everything wrong with communism, check out the sheep herders on this show. Yeah. Because they think that they should have a right to other people's property.
They feel entitled, and they argue that sheep they just wander, but they actually break in. They cut the fucking fence.
Yeah, they're committing crimes doing what they're doing, and they get warned, don't do that.
Yeah,
and go elsewhere.
But Banner feels safe. He's like, I know you said you'd hang us, but do you really think you'd get away with that? Because times are changing.
Yeah,
they show that so well.
It's intense stuff. And then, what's a highlight for you on the other show? Hello Tomorrow. So far,
I haven't pointed out all of them yet because in Africa, Alexandra meets Spencer, falls in love with him, and runs off with him. That is important.
And when she turns, I like the line when she turns in the car driving away from her fiance. She goes, find somebody and fall in love. She yells.
Marry somebody who loves you. That's her line.
It's great.
It is. Another great line is when he tells her, I'm going places where it's dangerous. And she just answers, let's look danger in the eye then, shall we?
Anything she doesn't know what she does when they get stuck in that tree.
Yeah. Because he told her.
That's episode 3, right? The next episode.
3 or 4.
I think it's 3. But either way it goes,
probably.
When we get to that one, oh my God, that scene.
Because she asks him why
because
he's
she
doing
gets
the
a
killing.
taste.
If it's so dangerous, why is he doing it? For the romance? And he says, there's nothing romantic about it. So why are you doing it? And he says, because you never feel more alive than when you're in mortal danger.
And she says, that's romantic.
Yeah.
She points out, and it is. It's a romantic notion.
In his face.
He's basically saying, I'm kind of an adrenaline junkie or a war junkie, And I don't know, by the way, I don't know if that was the Turkish one that I saw or the Italian, but I think it was the Italian Spider-Man. That's the one I saw. After watching 1923, you have made me wait a minute. After watching 1923, you have made me a believer. Yeah, absolutely. Taylor Sheridan, God, he writes high drama, entertaining, and it pulls you in. And
he knows how to write characters, great characters.
Yeah. And I think it's from his years of being a cowboy. He was a real cowboy, and he learned about those people and that life, and he wants to write about it. The stories he heard that he was told by other cowboys. He's one of those guys that listens and then goes back and regurgitates these things, but in a more dramatic, believable way. 3 Dev Adam is unauthorized Turkish. Oh, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, I know that one. I've heard of that one. But anything else from the episode?
More drama at the boarding school with the Indian girls, and at the same time, her grandmother tries to get her to live with her.
I almost didn't like that. I almost didn't like that story. The whole story was
I'm having problems
so
with it. Yes.
much for me. But the fact is as it goes along, I'm seeing the importance of this character. and who she's the because the main tribal leader in the series of Yellowstone is, I think, either the grandson or great grandson of that character. I think it's grandson of that character.
It's just so rough to watch that.
And we see her life and how rough it was, and it's rough
because they tried to break her, and it's not working. She's too strong.
Yeah, she's something else, man, and a lot of murders in this show, and some of them are brutal. They're really brutal. So, anything else on this episode, or do you want to talk
Not
a
really.
little bit about
No, that was more or less.
What were the highlights for you on the first episode of Tomorrowland, or Hello Tomorrow?
First of all, the look of it all. It looks so cute. Like you get
It's
flying
1950s.
cars, you have robots, and it's this 50s style. Also the clothes and the hair.
They have the music. You still have the music from the period.
Everything. It's so great. It's so great.
Alternate
and the end
reality.
of the episode, when you find out Buck, the old man that he has video call in, quote unquote, from the moon, that he's living in the same facility where his mom lives, but he does believe he lives on the moon. And that's again his turtle.
Part of the con.
Yeah.
It's like you find out very quickly that two characters that he says live on the moon are in an adult community, housing community on Earth.
And one of them is a turtle. I mean.
Oh, and one of the characters he mentions
The
is
boss,
the turtle in
Mr.
the
Jenkins is the
terrarium.
turtle of Buck. And the moonstones that he keeps showing people.
Yeah, and clearly that character has dementia. He's an old movie actor. He did westerns and stuff. And he played a sheriff. And so now he's the sheriff on the moon. And it's like, what is going on? Is this all a creation of Billy Crudup's character? Does he work for somebody?
I don't think that he's the boss of all of it. He might be somewhere high up in management because he's the boss of the salespeople, at least.
Well, we have a new episode. We have a new episode we can watch today.
I can't wait. But I have a feeling that he is not the one on top.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, one of the things I like about Fallout is that feeling of old with sci-fi, where things are different. This show is basically, what if Popular Mechanics, everything you saw in Popular Mechanics growing up, like I did, I read Popular Mechanics, were real and actually happened. Those experimental cars, the refrigerators, robots that look like Electrolux vacuum cleaners. I love that. They look like canisters, vacuum cleaners. I love the show. I think it's awesome. Cars don't drive on wheels. They're hover vehicles.
Yeah. You know what?
They use magnetism or some shit.
I revisited the episode this morning after getting up. And what came to me was like when he sends his son the rejection letter and the refund money, which is way more than the son paid originally. He didn't just do that because he wanted to do right by his son and not get him into this con. He also did it because still given it is a possibility for people to go up there who are not rich. He doesn't want to send his son to the moon. He wants him in his vicinity.
Yeah, and I think that it plays a part in it too. So once again, I do believe that this show is going to be one of those stories where you make the lie the truth. That the thing that you're conning, you feel so bad about it that you make it a reality.
Oh yeah, I can totally see him do that. Actually, turning it around and making it come true for these people.
And the thing is, though, we're getting pretty deep into the show right now, and it's like there should be a character coming into play who is the wheel by which you drive that way. And we haven't seen that yet, at least not that I've noticed. And but we'll see. We'll find out. I love breaking down how stories work, and I think this show works. I think the endings, because, look, we all know that a film is only as good as its beginning and ending. All the stuff in the middle is important, but the what happens in the first act and what happens in the third act are the most crucial. And the film is only as good as that. And that's been a problem with a lot of the what's his name that did Pulp Fiction, Quentin Tarantino. Because I had a problem with his third act. He had a third act problem, but he's gotten better at it.
grew up.
Yeah, he
by
totally has.
not knowing how to speak better.
And what I like about like his first film, Pulp Fiction, well, technically his second film, what I like about that film in particular is he didn't write it all. He had a guy that worked with him. And I think that's where a lot of that was grounded and why it was much better. Whereas I had huge problems with his first film, Mr. Pink, Mr. Brown, all that with his heist movie with, what I'm going to do, man, I'm going to make a heist film and not show you the heist, man. That's high art.
He obviously realized that he needed help, and he got help and did what he was really good at and outsourced the rest. Yeah.
Now, for his own writing, I'm not a fan of the Nazi film where he fought it was supposed to be a remake of the 70s film. It was supposed to be a remake. And then he just went off on his own and wrote an original script. And the opening act, the opening scene is absolutely should have been its own film. It's that good. With the Jewish family hiding underneath the house.
Yeah.
That scene is so intense. And I'm like, I couldn't believe he wrote that. I'm like, that was really good. But then the rest of the film, I'm like, ugh. I'm like, scalping is, you carve a swastika on somebody's forehead, they can hide that. Have surgery to fix it. You scalp a person, that leaves a scar if they survive it. And so I had problems with that movie, but boy, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I like that film.
What the heck, Darius?
What did Darius say? Wait, what? Was involved in a jewel heist. He was known only as Mr. Brown Eyes. Shut up, Darius. I know because the characters in his first movie they were called colors: Mr. Brown, Mr. Pink.
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, Reservoir Dogs. It's a ripoff. That's my problem. Is he calls it homage? I call it ripping off, because when you can spot everything, because he stole from The Killers, it's a John Woo film, and he stole from The Killing by Stanley Kubrick. Both of those films are better films than his movie Reservoir Dogs. Both of them are, and both of those films are Reservoir Dogs. The only thing great about Reservoir Dogs that I thought was original was the dance and ear cutting scene, and that was almost an afterthought. It became that because of Madsen. Madsen helped make that scene memorable, and it's very emotional to watch. Yeah, it really is, but it was also based on a film, because that's what you're supposed to do, Che. He was supposed to remake a film called The Inglourious Basterds that was a 1970s Dirty Dozen film. And then he went off on a tangent and wrote his own thing. And that's why it's completely different than the original Inglourious Basterds, which was a film. City, that's the movie. I said The Killers. City on Fire. That's the one. The heist and the scene with the crossed guns and all that shit. That was stolen from, not an homage to, is stolen from City on Fire. Absolutely right. But my other problem is it's also borrowed extensively. And if you watch it, it's there, from The Killing by Stanley Kubrick. Very similar in plot and premise and how they planned everything out and how it went. And the big difference is we're going to make a heist movie, man, and there's not going to be any heist in it. We're just going to reference to it, man. I love Norm Macdonald's impression of Quentin Tarantino. If you've never seen it, go check it out. It's funny as hell. He did it on Saturday Night Live. Shit was hilarious. It's Chinese. It's a Chinese film, Shinatsky. And,
with Chow Yun-Fat.
Chow Yun-Fat. There's an actor I became a fan of in the 90s. Wow, that dude was good. Things Captain Obvious. I think everybody that watches our show here can be a Captain Obvious.
Well, I know I'm good at that.
You're good at it because I call you that every while. Thanks, Captain Obvious. I was unaware of that. Thanks. So
that's just to check if you're actually listening, because sometimes I just get zero reaction from you.
Right. Again, some great films, and I really do want to. I want to look at something real quick here before we go. Rashomon is one of my favorite Japanese films. I love that film. And Throne of Blood is Akira Kurosawa's adaptation of King Lear. And it's amazing. And those arrows were real when they get fired around Toshiro Mifune. He was a gutsy dude, man. He did that scene with those arrows. Another great film, Redbeard. I love that film. Hidden Fortress is really good. It's the inspiration for Star Wars, one of the main ones. High Low is one I brought up earlier. It is it's basically like the typical thriller, mystery thriller that Glenn Ford would have done in the late 50s, early 60s. High Low is Akira Kurosawa's Drunken Angel, another great film with Toshiro Mifune.
Look at this comment from Cavitino.
And way things are going, it would be interesting to have Chow Yun-Fat be a character in the John Wick world. Why he's not, I'll never know. Chow Yun-Fat is a movie star, in my opinion. And he's kind of faded. And we need to bring that man back. What a great actor. Stray Dog is another great Toshiro Mifune film that I love. Let's see. The Samurai Trilogy. Sword of Doom. They got it right here. 1966. What a great film. All of these are great films, but I'm looking for specific ones that really hit me hard as far as good filmmaking goes. Shogun is great. Miniseries. Good series. He plays I'm not sure. He's the Shogun. That's right. Shogun Samurai. That I believe that's the one with let me go with Sonny Chiba. Let me go.
No, wasn't it Shogun Assassin?
Yep, that's the one. Shogun Samurai or Shogun Assassin, but Shogun Samurai is the legal name for the film. 1978, 2 hours and 10 minutes. Sonny Chiba, Toshiro Mifune, and I'm looking to see if there are any other major stars. Yoshida Harada and Tetsuo Tamba are in it. It is another telling of the 47 Samurai. And I love their version. It's bloodier. Because by 78, they weren't afraid to show much blood. And there's another film, I forget the name of it, that came out where, because the rule of thumb with Toshiro Mifune to know if he was playing Yojimbo is how he held his arms in his kimono. And if he put his arms inside his sleeve and crossed his arms inside, he was Yojimbo. This is a trademark move that he would do in the Yojimbo films. And it was something at Snow Pass or something like that. It came out in late, I think, 69 or 70. I'm looking to see if I can find it. Oh my gosh, what a great film. And it is the same character. He's playing Yojimbo in the film. And he reprised the character again with the blind samurai, the blind monk. Yeah, Zatoichi. And Zatoichi meets Yojimbo. And he even goes by the name Yojimbo in that one.
I have that movie.
I do too. I love that film. But he did that other film, and I cannot remember the full name of it, but it had to do with snow in the title. I remember that. Snow Pass or something like that. And then there's this real obscure film produced by, I think, Golan Globus that came out in 1982 called The Challenge, about one school stealing the sword from the master of another school, and they use an American to do this, played by Scott Glenn. And it's really a good film. It's that typical, let's make a Japanese film and bring an American in so we can sell it to an American audience. But it's good. It's good. It's a very good film called The Challenge. Any favorite films of yours?
About what?
What we're talking about. Japanese cinema.
Oh, Japanese cinema. Oh my God, there is this one. But my memory betrays me on the name. One of the translated title is Heaven on Earth. That was recounts the battle between Takeda and Kagetora. That there's another one from, I think it's Kurosawa, that is a samurai that he gives his inheritance in life, and all his sons ditch him. What is? Oh man!
Is that where he's a manager of a business in Japan?
No, he's a lord. He says, I'm gonna give my sons their inheritance while I'm still alive, and I think that he even marries a woman that tends. Finally, it's a witch that can shapeshift into a white wolf or something. And no, man.
Hell in the Pacific's another one with Lee Marvin. Oh, found it. 1970. Here's the movie right here. I will share the screen. Keep going, dude. If you get more.
Okay. Oh man, I have, but I don't remember the titles. That's a problem. I should have been aware of this.
It's called Machibushi, or the something at Blood Pass.
Well, yeah, I also have the whole series of Satoichi and the whole series of Lone Wolf and Cub.
And you can see right here, again, he's playing Yojimbo. And this is something that they discovered later, that it's the same character. And like I said, anytime you see him pull his arms in his sleeves and fold his arms under the kimono, he's playing Yojimbo. What's this? Oh, wait, I missed this. There was a Pauline Kael review of a crime film where she said it was like they took a crime novel and adapted the moments between the lines, something like that. Yeah, and it is. Quentin Tarantino read Kael's review and said, "That's it. That's my style." You can feel that all through Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction, I don't agree, but Reservoir Dogs, yeah, because there's actually a story in Pulp Fiction, and I like that. Mucho pussy. Shut up, Darius. It's Machabusi with a B.
I have to say, Darius is in better shape than Jeebus today.
Yes.
But it's called that, but it's also known as the Incident at Blood Pass. And you can look it under either the original Japanese name or the Incident at Blood Pass, and you'll find the movie. And it is the other Yojimbo film. And it's really very good. It really is. I thought it was as good as any of the other Yojimbo films. So, good stuff. Red Sun, again, Shinatsky, what I love about it is, he did not speak any English. And he would be given lines. And then later it was learned that another actor would dub him. And I'm going to go look it up real quick. Actor who dubbed Toshiro Mifune in English. Because I laughed when I learned who the guy that did the voice was on. It was for Tora 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 and Midway. Same actor did the voice. And Paul Frees. And Paul is best known as an actor, like on camera, for his role in the original Thing from Another World, the original telling of The Thing. And he was one of the doctors. But he was Scrooge McDuck. Guy did so many voices. And he was like Mel Blanc, man. He just had a million voices he could do. But I could always spot it because he had a very distinct dialect. And
5 minutes.
Let's see. Here we go. He was one of the main voice actors in The Little Drummer Boy in '68. Frosty the Snowman. God, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. A lot of Peter Cottontail. He was always in these movies. Frosty's Winter Wonderland. You would hear his voice. He did the original Hobbit in 1977. Gosh, man, he was all over the place doing voices. All over the place. And very distinct voice. And he did the voice of Toshiro Mifune in Tora 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 and Midway. So when you see him delivering lines in the film, that's not Toshiro's voice. It's Paul Frees. A little bit of trivia. And Red Sun is another film where he had to deliver lines in English and he didn't speak a lick of English. He didn't understand what anybody was saying to him. Everything had to be translated for him. And still, great film. Charles Bronson, Mifune, and his character dies. And I always felt that the first Jackie Chan Owen Wilson Western, I can't remember, what was it called? Showdown at High Noon or some weird shit like that. Shanghai Noon. That was it, Shanghai Noon. I felt was kind of a nod to that Red Sun film. Funnier. But, I mean, Red Sun's funny, too. It's got some great, hilarious moments. Because he's looking for a sword. He's looking for a sword, which is the driving premise of Shanghai Noon. He's looking for a sword, a stolen sword, that was taken on a train robbery. It's the same premise, both films. Leads him into an adventure. And yes, it is a good Mifune film. Are you guys there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just nobody's reacting, saying anything.
Dude, because we're just learning from you.
Yeah. Oh. I told you, I know nothing about this.
Professor Gerry has given another lecture. That's how Keith and I became friends. We would just sit and talk about this stuff and just, it's people that's going into the weeds. That's good. But that tangent is connected. It's connected. And that connection's important. And I love that. Andy Morrow is here last minute. Good to see everybody. I want to thank Penny, Monkey Jeebus, Cavatino Cabermache, Alex Moore, Zacharot315, Dragon Ruse, Abdulio, Keto Simple, a good friend Dustin, Flip City Magazine. Good to see you. I hope you come back more. Lord Thoth, I want to get those guys on the show. They're really interesting. And then Lord Thoth, all hail Lord Thoth, Joe's Atmosphere, Das Wolfen, Zax, a.k.a. Kyle, the Peter Vickman fan site, also known as Vickman's Girl, Shinatsky, and of course, Andy Morrow. I want to thank all you guys for being here. Thanks for being involved with the show. I want to thank everybody in KGRA land. I hope the folks on Rumble enjoyed the show. A lot of information, some reviews. Don't waste your time on True Lies TV series. Do not, unless you like dumb TV. Some people do like dumb TV. I'm not saying you're dumb, but some people like dumb TV, and that's their thing.
We suffered through that first episode, so we can tell you not to waste your time.
Don't waste your time.
We did that for you.
Mandalorian is Star Wars. It feels like Star Wars. It acted like Star Wars, and I did enjoy it. And I liked, by the way, Zax, I loved what Cameron said about it. On your show. Really good stuff. Good videos, buddy. And if you're not following Zax, get watching him. That is a good channel.
Do you know what I liked most in the Mandalorian episode? That he again shoots like a cowboy.
Yep. Well, that's John Wayne's grandson that does all the gun work. And also I liked when he walked away from what's her name in the throne room, shaking his head. That was one of my favorite moments. He's just shaking his head, walking away, and I'm like,
she's just sitting there pissing and moaning, and
Yeah.
being
As
annoying.
Don would say, sounds like whining.
Oh yeah, she is whining.
All right, Bill, get us out of here, man.
Bye guys.